So in this short video, I will show you the CGM-X mount and tripod by Celestron, hooked up with a C11-A-XLT telescope. I will show you later adjustments that I've been doing from scratch because I just got it new. So today I start setting up the tripod, playing with it, and so far I'm gonna show you some little tips that I found out and some adjustments and cables that I'm gonna hook up on my own setup to see if I can help somebody. There we go. Okay, so far, in order to get this area tight, because before tightening this part, I have one of the sides off. Align it the best you can using this level up and down, and then once you start screwing this up, by the time it reaches the 5 or 6 line thread, then this part start getting tight, nice. So that's the secret I discovered. Also, the level goes south, like the leg south. And the tray with the 3 lines, not with the Celestron logo. The one with the 3 lines go pointing south. That's what I have so far. This line pointing north. Let me see if it's true. Okay, balance. In terms of balance, this is a temporary balance that works so far. I mark right there this edge matching this edge here. So basically that's what it is. It has the finder scope, the StarSense Autoguider, image train for monochrome or color. So it's gonna stay like that forever. It's a reducer, a focus motor. And so far, it's gonna be there, the power controller in the back leg. Like I had it before, I think, yeah. It's right there, parallel to this. So StarSense Autoguider auxiliary 2, and then the hand controller auxiliary 1, which I'm gonna connect right here, right there. And they don't move, by the way, which is very good. Let me see what else. I'm gonna connect the rest of the cables and come back. Oh, the weights. On the weights so far, I forgot to loosen the RA axis so I can put the rod and the weights. So I have to do it with the telescope on. So once I put the rod, I just loose the RA with the telescope on and install the weights. Now the weights is almost at the end. I'm gonna mark them. And this tightening knob facing west, and then the second weight is about here. I'm gonna put a tape or something, a mark. It's gonna be facing north, the knob. The measurements is about, let me measure it now. It looked like a 1/2 inch there. And here about 1.75 inches. Yeah, 1.75 inches, and here 1/2 inch. Temporary setup. All right, this is the next part. I did not have to do any modifications on the cables that I use on the CGM2, including the power controller. So didn't have to do any modifications on the cable, and it works real nice. The only changes is, instead using the hand controller cable that goes here with the mini USB to the PC, instead using that, I'm using the mount, and it's a different cable. It's the printer cable from there to here. Maximum that I read online, 5 meters long. Mine is about 2.5 long. So far I might change it, but so far I'm gonna use that. That's one change. The other change instead using, well, the auxiliary, I use it on the mount, so that's no change. And also I use the hand controller in the mount, but instead saying hand controller in the CGM, it says auxiliary 1. And instead of saying auxiliary 1 in the CGM, it says auxiliary 2 in the CGX-L. And they more convenient because they in the back, they never gonna move, they static, so that's a big change. Instead on this mount that they move, because this is the RA axis, so it's not gonna move here. Good change. I still, since I'm using SB Bonus and there's no problem with the cable, power cable from the controller. Now the ZWO camera, I have to use the ZWO power cable. But with the SB Bonus, it's been working wonderful so far. So I don't do any changes there. And then the power controller is right behind it, where the controls are here, which it make it more convenient. So far I'm not using none of these controllers yet. So at this moment, this is the setup, and it needs testing. And last that I forgot to mention is the power cable. It's an AC outlet, that's the third one that goes there. So the first one, or whatever, one of the three, is the laptop. The second one is the power for the Smart Dew heater. And the third one is the actual mount. And as you see, it's in the back, so it's not gonna be moving at all. Another advantage against the CGM, because the CGM has the power cable there in the RA axis and it moves. So that's a big difference. So the cables are steady. Make it easier so you don't worry too much about cables janking and stuff like that. Next, the cables from the StarSense Autoguider, I got them all taped. For example, this cable is a USB Charlie or C. This one is a ST4, and these two are the thermistor and power cable for this strap, heating strap. So I got all those, the thermistor and the power cable together taped by little sections, including the ST4 and the USB tape and little sections like that. This packet here that goes, the ST4 cable goes to the auxiliary 2. The USB Charlie goes to the USB 3 in the Power 4X controller. The thermistor and power for the Dew heater goes in the other side. The thermistor is here, which is the sensor in the second, number 2, on the power cable heater here. Now the thermistor and the sensor, or the thermistor and the power cable for the heater ring, this is the connection. I got them taped like this, and they go all around over here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, which is the power connector here and the thermistor. Those two pairs, I got them all the way to the Smart Dew Heater 4X controller here. The other one that I missed, let me see, the camera I think I mentioned those, the camera USB and the camera power cable. The camera power cable goes all the way here to the 12-volt number 2 in the 4X controller as the power for the camera. And the actual USB cable goes to the USB 1 in the 4X Smart Dew Heater controller, and then the USB 2, which is this one down here, that USB 2, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, the USB 2 here. Let me connect the camera cable. The USB 2, it goes straight to the focus motor down here. It's not that confusing once you get it set up. Let me see the other cable. Another option, I can put the hand controller in this side, which I think I'm gonna prefer do that. That way the output goes to the computer. I can see the hand controller when it's on, and I can see the cable from the 4X controller, Smart Dew Heater, another output to the computer. I think I'm gonna have it in this side. Let me see what else. So far, that's in cable management. As you saw, the adjustments that I did. Now, to give you a summary, this is the CGX-L mount with the tripod. The telescope is the C11-A-XLT or 11-inch by Celestron. I have an aluminum DewShield right there. The aluminum DewShield weighs about 54.4 ounces. Inside I got a heater ring. Then I have the optical tube assembly. I have a finder scope in the other side. If you see the StarSense Autoguider. Underneath is the dovetail. And then I have the focus motor. In the image train, I have the reducer that convert the focal ratio from f10 to f6.3. I'm gonna leave it there permanently, that reducer. The SCT 2-inch adapter, SV Bunny 2-inch or 1 1/4 inch filter drawer, and then the SV Bunny camera, SV605 monochrome. I got another monochrome camera. But anyway, that's the image train there. Counting all those items, the weight is close to 44 pounds, 43 pounds and 14 ounces, but I rounded to 44 pounds. So the payload capacity on this mount is 75%, 75 pounds. That means that to make long exposure and reduce error, start trailing and stuff like that, the lighter I have, the better. So basically, I want to achieve 50% of the payload, around 50%, or 2/3. So at this time, with 44 pounds, the payload percentage is 59%. So, hey, close to 50%, it's 59%, but it's acceptable because it's between 50 and 60%. That's the real situation that I have right now. The next step is to test this equipment and see the long exposure, how it performs. And I will owe you that. But in this video, you just saw little adjustment when I build the mount. Just the little tips to help you and to let you know the cables. And let me do a real last demonstration on the cable so you see that it's not messy that it looks. Let me real quick. If I lose the RA, In the backs, the cables, they don't interfere at all. Same if I go to the other side. It's just few cables. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4. The ones here that are permanent. So it's basically like four cables. Actually, these are more. I got a tape for the StarSense Autoguider, but there are not many. There's no problem there. And if I change the deck, on the deck, the inclination axis, same deal. Because those cables most likely are connected right here in the back. And it doesn't jank, it doesn't, it's not subject to break the cables. So doing a manual check like that, I can't tell that it's gonna work. Now when it does the meridian flip, since I got the same type of setup on the other telescope, on the CGM there, on the 8-inch, and I tested with the meridian flip flawlessly, no problems on the cable. It's gonna be the same concept according to that theory. So this is the end of the video. I'm gonna see the results on this equipment, how it performs, and I will appreciate if you subscribe, like, make comments there. That way I can learn from you too, and let me know anything new that I don't know, so I can make some adjustments too. Thank you. My name is Luis, and clear skies.